Hey, welcome. Do you ever feel like you're following a set of rules that nobody ever actually taught you? Like there's this secret script for life that everyone just gets? Well, turns out there is. And today we're going to make that invisible blueprint visible.
Seriously, think about it for a second. Why do we do these things? Nobody hands you a manual at birth that says, hey, wait your turn, or you should probably offer your hand as a sign of peace. And yet we do them. We do them automatically. These are not just random habits. They're guided by something way, way bigger.
All right, let's get into it. We're about to map out the hidden structures that shape almost every single thing we do. And trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see the world around you and your own place in it in a completely new way.
So where do we even begin? Well, the first and most important part of this whole blueprint is a word we throw around all the time, but maybe don't fully get: culture.
Now, when you hear the word culture, your mind might jump to, opera, art museums, or knowing which fork to use at a fancy dinner. And yeah, that's part of it, but the real meaning of culture is so much broader, so much more fundamental. It's not about being cultured. It's about everything.
And here it is. This is the big definition. Culture is that complex whole. It's our knowledge, our beliefs, art, morals, laws. Basically, it's the sum total of everything we learn just by being part of a group. Think of it like this. Culture is the operating system for human beings.
And what's so cool is that culture isn't some static thing set in stone. It's something we acquire. It's social. You can't have a culture of one. We share it, we pass it down, or transmit it through generations, and it's always shifting and adjusting to whatever we need. It's basically a living, breathing system that we're all a part of.
So if culture is the software, the operating system, then what's the hardware it runs on? Well, that brings us to the next piece of our blueprint: society, the human web itself.
This definition might sound a little academic, but what it's really painting is a picture of society as the structure. It's the framework of our relationships, the systems of power, all the different groups and divisions that organize us. You could say it's the stage where we all act out our culture.
I just love this way of putting it, a web. It's such a perfect image, right? It captures how we are all connected, held together by countless invisible threads of interaction, of needing each other, of just understanding each other. Every single one of us is a point in this huge, intricate web.
Okay, get ready for a really cool distinction that's going to make all of this even clearer. We often use the words culture and civilization like they're the same thing, but in sociology, nope, they mean two very, very different things.
Let's break this down. Civilization is all about the tools and tech we use. It's about utility. We can measure it, right? A smartphone is more efficient than a carrier pigeon, and it's always moving forward, always advancing. Culture, on the other hand, that's our inner world, our values, our art, our beliefs. You can't say a hip-hop song is objectively better or more advanced than a piece by Mozart. They're just different. Civilization is what we use. Culture is who we are.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Civilization is what we have: our buildings, our computers, our laws. Culture is what we are: our traditions, our family values, our sense of humor, our sense of what's right and wrong. Okay, so we've got the big picture. Culture is the software, society is the hardware. But now let's zoom right in. How do we, as individuals, actually live and move through this system every single day? It all comes down to groups, status, and roles.
We all live in different kinds of groups. Primary groups are those small, super close circles. Think family, your best friends. They're all about deep personal connection. Then you have secondary groups. These are larger, more impersonal, and usually built around a specific goal, like your coworkers at a company or all the fans of a sports team.
The sociologist C.H. Cooley had this beautiful phrase for our primary groups. He called them the nursery of human nature. And it makes perfect sense. It's in these close, loving relationships that we first learn the rules of our culture, where our personalities take shape and where we build our sense of who we are. Their impact is just massive. Now, inside these groups, and in society as a whole, every one of us holds a status. The best way to think of status is like your social address. It's your position in the whole structure. And here's the key. There are two very different ways you can get a status.
An ascribed status is one you're basically born into or given. It's totally out of your control. Think about your age, your race, or the family you were born into. But an achieved status, that's when you earn. It's based on your own efforts, your skills, your choices, like becoming a pilot, a musician, or a parent.
So if status is your position, what's a role? Well, the role is the script that comes with that position. It's how you're expected to act. The simplest way to remember it is this. Status is the noun, role is the verb. Teacher is the status. Teaching students is the role.
And this is where it all clicks into place in our own lives. You're not just one thing, right? In a single day, you might switch between the role of an employee, then a parent, then a friend, then a customer at the grocery store. We are constantly, seamlessly navigating this complex blueprint, playing all the different roles that go with our many statuses.
So, let's pull it all together. We've decoded the blueprint. Culture is the learned software that guides everything we do and think. Society is the hardware, that giant web of relationships we live in. And we, you and I, we navigate this whole system through the groups we join, the statuses we hold, and the roles we play every single day.
Look, understanding this blueprint isn't just some interesting thought experiment. It's actually incredibly empowering. Because once you can see the invisible structures that shape your life, the culture, the society, the roles you play, you can also see where you have the power to make a choice. You can decide which roles matter most to you, which groups you want to build, and what parts of the culture you want to shape and pass on. The blueprint isn't fate.